What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to the video. Today, I'm doing race picks for the 2023 Hollywood Casino 400. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. This week in the NASCAR Cup Series, they headed to Kansas International Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. This track always puts on some really exciting and really great racing. The last time the Cup Series raced here at Kansas, we saw an all-time classic finish between Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson, where Denny Hamlin was able to beat Kyle Larson on the last lap. And the last time we raced here in the fall, we see Bubba Wallace pick up his second career NASCAR Cup Series victory. He looks to pick up his third career victory this weekend at Kansas on the 1-year anniversary. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into picks. But before we go ahead and jump into picks, let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. So the weather for this weekend is actually looking pretty promising. It's going to be 85 degrees as a high with 62 degrees as a low. For right now, only a 10% chance of rain with sunny skies. Going to be some nice weather for this weekend at Kansas Speedway. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff standings after the first race at Darlington from the Southern 500. So after winning Southern 500, Kyle Larson is locked into the next round. Then you have William Byron is 45 points above the cutoff line. Tyler Reddick is 30 points above the cutoff line. Chris Buescher and Denny Hamlin are above 27 above. Mark Truex Jr. despite a struggling race at Darlington is 25 points above. Kyle Busch is 20 points above the cutoff line. Brad Keselowski is 18 above. Ryan Blaney is 16 points above. Ross Chastain is 13 above. Joe Logano is 3 above. And Christopher Bell is 1 above. Above the cutoff line. Bubba Wallace is currently 1 point below. Kevin Harvick is 2 points below. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is 4 below. And Michael McDowell is 19 points below. Michael McDowell is pretty much in a must-win situation. Everybody else, though, can either lock their way in with the win or can make it in on points. So anyways, let's now go ahead and jump into picks. For those who are new to the channel, here's how picks work on the channel. I do 2 suck picks, 2 drivers I expect to struggle throughout the weekend if having some bad races recently. I do 2 underdog picks, 2 drivers I expect are really good at underfront equipment or need a good run this weekend. And I do the winner's pick, the driver thinks is going to win the race overall at Kansas Speedway. So anyways, let's now go ahead and jump into picks. Who are my suck picks for the Hollywood Casino 400? My first suck pick for this weekend at Kansas is the driver of the 41 car for Stewart-Haas Racing, Ryan Preece. I just right now don't trust Stewart-Haas Racing cars, and Ryan Preece has not really had a great year on the mile and a half this season. He's shown some flash abilities throughout the 2023 season. He's only, I think, scored maybe 1 top 5, though, in the whole year. And Ryan Preece historically has not been great at Kansas throughout his NASCAR Cup Series career. So therefore, unfortunately, I don't think the race is going to go off for Ryan Preece. I think he struggles this weekend at Kansas. My second suck pick for this weekend at Kansas Speedway is a driver of the 10 car for Stewart-Haas Racing, Aric Almirola. Very similar to Ryan Preece. I mentioned it's about Stewart-Haas Racing. Stewart-Haas Racing, like I said, has not been good on the mile and a half this year, as they've been down on performance and speed. And unfortunately, I think that is going to affect Aric Almirola. Now, Aric Almirola's been hit or miss in his career at this racetrack. I just don't think this weekend is going to go well for him, unfortunately. I think he's going to finish outside the top 25. I don't think he's going to have a good run. And sadly, I think he is going to struggle this weekend at Kansas Speedway. I just don't think he's going to have a good run. And now we're going ahead and jump on the underdog picks for the Hollywood Casino 400. Who are my underdog picks? My first underdog pick for this weekend's Hollywood Casino 400 is the driver of the 42 car for Legacy Motor Club, Carson Hocevar. Carson Hocevar is making his third career NASCAR Cup Series start this weekend at Kansas, and I have to say, his race at Darlington was extremely impressive. He got the second best finish of the year for the 42 car in only his second career start, and we've seen Carson Hocevar show flashes of brilliance throughout his career. On top of that as well, he's been pretty good in the Truck Series at Kansas, and I think he's going to use that experience in the Truck Series race to really help him out. So I think that Carson Hocevar is going to be quick. I think he's going to be really fast. And I think he's going to have an outside chance, maybe get a top 15 or top 20. I think he has a great run this weekend at Kansas Speedway. My second underdog pick for the Hollywood Casino 400 is his teammate and the driver of the 43 car for Legacy Motor Club. That is Erik Jones. Erik Jones started off the year kind of rough, but over the last 7 to 8 weeks, Erik Jones has been showing a lot more speed. And Erik Jones has been pretty good at Kansas throughout his NASCAR Cup Series career. So I think that he is going to use the help from Legacy Motor Club, how much better they've gotten, and how much performance they've improved. I think that's really going to come into play, and I think Erik Jones will have a very strong and really solid run. I would not surprise or shock me if Erik Jones gets a top 10 this weekend. I think he's going to be really strong and really fast this weekend at Kansas Speedway. I think he's going to have a great chance to contend for a top 10. And now we're going ahead and jump onto the winner's pick for the Hollywood Casino 400. Who is my winner's pick? My winner's pick is kind of a no-brainer. This guy has won at Kansas before and has been very fast at Kansas the last couple of years. My winner's pick for this weekend at Kansas is the driver of the 23 car for 2311 Racing, Bubba Wallace. I've had this race circled for Bubba Wallace when he got to the playoffs. I said if he could make the playoffs here in 2023, I could see him getting pretty far. And this track is a very circle racetrack because, like I mentioned, Bubba Wallace is the defending winner of the fall race here. He finished 4th in the spring earlier this year and finished in the top 10 in the spring Kansas race in 2022, the race that Kurt Busch went on to win. I think Bubba Wallace is going to get his second straight fall win here and his third career Cup Series victory. He's got a lot of momentum coming off of getting a top 10 finish at Darlington, and the 2311 camp has him really strong on the mile and a half and the bigger ovals this year. So therefore, I think Bubba Wallace is going to have a great chance to get it done, and I think he will get his first victory of 2023 this weekend at Kansas. And now we're going ahead and jump on the drivers you need to watch out for this weekend at Kansas. Who should you keep your eyes out on? The first driver to watch out for this weekend at Kansas is the driver of the 5 car for Hendrick Motorsports, Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson has a lot of momentum currently at the moment, and of course is coming off of winning the 2023 Southern 500. Not only that, Kyle Larson historically has been great at Kansas Speedway. He's the winner of the fall race in 2021, came close to winning the spring race in 2022, finished in the top 10 in the fall Kansas race, and of course came runner-up and got beat on the last lap by Denny Hamlin in 2023. I almost thought he was going to be my pick to win this weekend, but I think Kyle Larson definitely will be up front and might be competing against Bubba Wallace for the victory. He could potentially, though, go back-to-back this weekend at Kansas. The second driver to watch out for this weekend at Kansas is the driver of the 11 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin's had a pretty good week. He had just, of course, this past week signed a multi-year contract extension with Joe Gibbs Racing, and of course is the defending winner of this race from earlier this year, and has won a couple races at Kansas for his career. One in 2012, I think also one in 2015 as well. I think Denny Hamlin's going to be a threat. Joe Gibbs Racing has been really strong on the mile and a half this year, and I think that mile and a half speed is going to come into play. So I think Denny Hamlin has a really great chance and a really great opportunity to get the victory this weekend at Kansas. The third driver to watch out for this weekend at Kansas is the driver 17 car for RFK Racing, Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher has a lot of momentum currently at the moment as well. He's coming off finishing 3rd in the Southern 500, won at Daytona, and has won 3 of the last 6 races. And RFK is showing a lot more pace and a lot more speed over the course of the last 10 weeks. I think Chris Buescher legitimately is an outside championship contender and an outside championship threat. I think his 17 team is going to continue to bring that speed they've had for the last 10 or 11 weeks, and I think Chris Buescher for sure will be a threat to go to victory lane this weekend at Kansas Speedway. I think he's got a great chance to get a victory. The fourth driver to watch out for this weekend at Kansas is a driver of the 24 car for Hendrick Motorsports, William Byron. William Byron's been fast at every type of track this year in 2023. Doesn't matter what type, whether it's mile, mile and a half, 2-mile racetrack, road course, short track, it doesn't matter. William Byron is always up front. And he's coming off of finishing in the top 5 in the Southern 500. While I don't think he's going to go on and win the race, I certainly think he's going to get enough points above the cutoff line to make sure he's locked in on points alone. I do believe, though, that number 24 is going to be fast and strong and will for sure be a contender for the victory. Maybe, just maybe, William Byron gets win number 6 of 2023. And the fifth and final driver I think you should watch out for this weekend at Kansas Speedway is a driver of the 8 car for Richard Childress Racing, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch had a hit-or-miss race in the Southern 500, and historically at Kansas Speedway, it has not gone very good for him. And also, Rich Childress Racing himself has not been the greatest on the intermediate tracks, especially as of recent, though I will say this 8 car was really fast with Tyler Reddick. I do believe that Kyle Busch is going to be really, really good this weekend, though. I think that they've got a lot of mojo. I think they're going to have some confidence, and I think that Kyle Busch is going to bring a lot of pace and a lot of speed out at the racetrack. So I think Kyle Busch will be a contender. Kyle Busch has won before back in 2016 at this track. I think he'll use that momentum that he's had from winning 3 races this year to give him a chance and opportunity to get the victory, and I think he will for sure be a threat and contender. So, those are my race picks for the Hollywood Casino 400. Just a reminder, my sub picks are Ryan Preece, Eric Almirola. My underdog picks are Carson Osbar, Eric Jones. My winner's pick is Bubba Wallace, and the ones to watch out for are Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, William Byron, and Kyle Busch. those are my race picks. So, that is going to be it for the Race 6 video for the Hollywood Casino 400 at Kansas Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links goes below that, and comment below your picks below for this weekend at Kansas. Let me know your suck picks, let me know your underdog picks, let me know your winners pick, and let me know drivers you're watching out for this weekend at Kansas. Let me know your picks in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have a NASCAR news video, catch up news over the last couple days, and of course, we'll have the Truck Series race view from Kansas Speedway. Got a lot of great content on the channel that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.